Welcome to our virtual open house session with Binghamton University. We've got a great session for you today. We're going to be hearing from some of the different departments that talk about English language support, our International Student and Scholar Services Office, and of course you'll hear from our students. My name is Carrie Feierabend. I'm going to introduce myself and our team before we get started here. So the head of our team is Amanda Sherratt. She's our Senior Associate Director for International Recruitment. We also have on our call today Tanya Barajas, who generally works with the Western Hemisphere. Tanya, if you want to say a quick hi.
Hi.
And go ahead.
Hi, nice to meet you. Looking forward to having you here at our session.
And then we've got myself. I generally work with East Asia, China and Chinese-speaking territories, as well as some other countries in East Asia. And then we have Patricia Roble, who is our specialist for transfer international students, as well as Northeast Asia, Europe, and Africa. So Pat, you want to give a hello?
Good morning, or good afternoon, good evening. Happy to have you here.
All right, so we're going to look at a few things today. First, we're going to give you just a general overview of Binghamton University and what our international undergraduate admissions looks like in terms of, the overview and the highlights of Binghamton, as well as our admissions criteria. And then we'll get into some of our other departments here and hear from our student panel before hearing your questions. So without further ado, I'm going to hand it over to my colleague Tanya, and she's going to take it away.
Great, thanks, Carrie. If you could advance to the next slide. So just for clarity, this question does come up a lot, especially from students who might be U.S. citizen students but are studying overseas and outside of the United States. So an international applicant at Binghamton University is one who will require an F1 visa to study. If you don't require an F1 visa to study in a U.S. university, then you would not be considered an international applicant here. You would go through our regular application process. So that also includes U.S. students who are studying in foreign high schools, and also undocumented students are not considered international students. Can we advance to the next slide? So overall, Binghamton University, we attract students from all over the U.S., all over the globe. We're a very internationalized campus. We're an inclusive campus, one where students from different backgrounds, different walks of life, various religious affiliations, sexual orientations, gender expressions, ethnic backgrounds come together to learn from each other and with each other in the classroom. So it's a great community. We have a little over 2,300 international students on our campus and representing over 100 different countries here. So we're very excited about that. A quick view of Binghamton University. We are located about 3 hours northwest of New York City in the community of Binghamton, New York. For those of you that might be watching on a smaller screen, maybe your phone, some of the surrounding urban centers include Philadelphia, Washington, D.C., Pittsburgh, Cleveland, Niagara Falls, which is in Buffalo, Toronto, and Montreal in Canada, and also Boston, Massachusetts. So we are very well situated here in the Northeast. We do have a lot of interaction within that region. A little over 14,000 undergraduate students here as well. So we are considered a mid-sized campus. And then a very strong retention rate, that 92.1% retention rate, which is high not just for our university, but also within the US. I believe the national average is around 72% retention rate. So what that tells us is that students are feeling supported, they're coming back, and we know based on graduation rates and outcomes that they are persisting, they're doing really well here at Binghamton University. So our university is made up of 6 schools. Harper College of Arts and Sciences, that's where you're going to find things like anthropology, biology, chemistry, economics, integrative neuroscience, sociology, cultural studies, languages, arts like music and theater, So it's also where students may go if they're undecided. Our College of Community and Public Affairs has a social work and a human development major. Our Decker College of Nursing and Health Sciences is a direct entry nursing program. School of Management houses a business administration major as well as an accounting major. School of Pharmacy and Pharmaceutical Sciences has a PharmD program with opportunities for pharmacy early admission at the undergraduate level. And then the Thomas J. Watson School of Engineering has a biomedical engineering major, computer engineering, electrical engineering, industrial and systems, as well as mechanical. This is also where our computer science is housed. So all in all, over 130 different majors and minors here at Binghamton University. Okay, so with regard to honors programs, we do have several selective honors programs that students can be a part of. Our Binghamton University Scholars Program is the school-wide honors program. Students can live in scholars housing. They can take advantage of special mentorship opportunities, special internship opportunities, and then if they go through the program, they can graduate with honors. PricewaterhouseCoopers Scholars Program is designed for our business students. And then Summer Scholars and Artist Fellowship offers funding for students to participate in special projects and internships over the summer. We have research opportunities in all majors. Our first year research immersion program is geared towards students in the STEM fields. They can choose from various research streams like neuroscience, clean energy, community and global public health, just to name a few. And then the Source Project is an opportunity for students to do research within their first two semesters at Binghamton University. They can do research in streams like human rights. There's another one on human nature, thinking through painting, and new for this year, we have one on the pandemic. We have various job and internship opportunities for students on campus. International Students and Scholar Services have some resources on their website. Fleischman Center for Career and Professional Development has special affinity groups for international students that they can help you select and apply to opportunities on and off campus, help you to develop a cover letter, a resume, do mock interviews for jobs and internships, and also even practice with negotiation as well. So we have study abroad opportunities here at Binghamton. Because we're a member of SUNY, State University of New York, students have access to over 1,000 different programs within SUNY's network of schools. All right, a little bit about our application policy for this year. We do accept 3 types of applications: the common application, the coalition application, and the SUNY app. So they essentially work in the same way. They're owned by a third party. So the way they work is that you could fill out one application and it would be good for several schools. The most common one is the common app, so aptly named. We are test optional for fall 2021. So international students, you do not need to submit the SAT or ACT. And I'm going to let Pat tell you a little bit more about that.
Thank you. Thank you, Tanya. First of all, I think the important thing for all students who are applying for first year and for those transfers who have less than 24 credits completed, the important thing this year is that the SAT and the ACT is optional for fall 21, spring 22. So what that means is that the choice of whether or not you submit these scores is totally up to you. Once you submit your application, we will then send you an email asking you if you intend to submit SATs or ACT scores. Now, what's interesting about this is, as Tanya mentioned, that if you see on this circle right up here, you can use an SAT EBRW score, you can use an ACT English score to also satisfy English proficiency. Now, you can do that without having your scores submitted for admission consideration. So once again, if you would like to have your EBRW score from the SAT or your ACT English score considered as a way of satisfying English proficiency. You can say no to having your scores considered for admission, but yes to having your scores submitted as for English proficiency. So the choice is up to you, and you can always ask us about that. This pertains to first-year students and for transfers who have less than 24 credits completed. We do have 3 applications that we accept. The Common App is, as its name suggests, the most common because it provides you with an opportunity to apply to over 500 US colleges and universities, either as a first-year student or as a transfer. The Coalition app, and then there is the SUNY app. When you use any one of these apps will also require you to fulfill other Binghamton University requirements, such as an essay, such as listing the events or the activities that you have participated in up until this point. So pretty much these applications are very complete. What is not included in this is the fact that if you are a first-year applicant, we will require the last 3 years of completed academic work in secondary school. For some of you, that will include grade 3 of middle school. For others of you, it'll be grades 9, 10, and 11. And for transfers, it will include application transcripts from every institution you have taken a course in since you completed secondary school. Please note that for international applicants, all transcripts must be official, and that means that your transcript must be sent by the school or schools that you attended. They cannot be accepted from the applicant, him or herself. So once again, applications, these are the 3 applications. Transcripts need to be sent by the school you attended. If the transcript is not in English, we will also require a certified translation, which you can get from a notary public in your country. So please take a look at this. And of course, if you have questions, you can always email about this. Please also note that this is our mid 50% of high school averages, secondary school averages. Please note that many of you are attending schools where this makes absolutely no sense, but know that we will translate each of your grades and your averages into the US system. This is what we do. This is what we are trained to do. And we follow WES criteria in doing this. So just wanted you to know about that. Any questions about this, we'll answer in the Q&A section. Please note that Binghamton has 2 types of admission. We have early action admission, which is November 1st, your application needs to be in with all of your other documents that might be requested, trailing very closely to that. And by December 1st, you would need to let us know whether or not you are going to submit SAT or ACT scores. If you apply for early action, you will receive a decision from Binghamton on or before January 15th. You will still have until May 1 to determine whether or not to accept your offer of admission. The regular admission, we will take applications all the way through to March 15th with a decision given to you by April 1st. And again, you will have until May 1 to decide whether or not to accept Binghamton's offer of admission. Here is an example of the costs of Binghamton. We're very proud of our 70% 4-year graduation rate and our 82.4% 6-year graduation rate, which is only 6 years, largely because many of our students do accelerated programs combining a master's degree with an undergraduate degree. So Binghamton is very well known for accepting students who have come in with advanced credit from A-level, AP, or IB. 1/3 of our class comes in with a full year of credit earned in those programs. So many of our students are able to graduate in 3 years, 4 years, 5 years if they're doing accelerated programs. So again, this is the cost. Our total tuition is about, tuition and fees is a little over $29,000. First year students are required, not transfers, but first year students are required to live on campus. So hence you have to factor in the $16,549. And yes, we do give scholarships, partial scholarships, ranging in from 2,500 US dollars to 13,500 US dollars per year for the 4 years of your undergraduate education. And now I'm going to turn this back. We'll answer any questions about this in the Q&A. I'll turn it back to you, Carrie.
Great, thank you so much, Pat. So just before we go ahead with our next session, we wanted to remind you that this is our contact information. So if you are interested in contacting us or you have any questions, you can email us here. So now I'm going to here's some more if you would like to contact us on WhatsApp or our website as well. So now I'm going to turn it over to our English Language Institute. Linda Sukarat is the director of our English Language Institute, and she's going to share a little bit more about what the English Language Institute has to offer and how it helps our students here at Binghamton. So Linda, over to you.
Hi again, and welcome to the English Language Institute. We call it the ELI for short. When you come to Binghamton University, there's a lot of acronyms or short ways to call things. We are the ELI, English Language Institute, and I would like to tell you what we do. Today I'm going to tell you how we support all of the Binghamton University students. So basically there are three groups of people that we support. We support all international students who are learning English. Of course, English is it's a lifelong learning process, right? To learn it, to be really fluent in another language. We also support domestic students who are learning foreign languages, and we support the English teaching. There are a lot of students at Binghamton University who plan to become English teachers, including international students who are thinking of going home to their country and becoming an English teacher. So we also support that group of students. So we do a lot more than just teaching the language, right? So I'm going to start by, there are actually 3 areas that we focus on. And the first one that I want to talk about is the courses that we teach. So all of our classes are called general education classes. I don't know if in your countries, universities require students to study all kinds of subjects that are not necessarily in their major, but in the United States, all colleges require what we call general education requirements. That means that if you are an econ major, you still have to take a chemistry class, or if you're an art major, you still have to take a math class. So all students at Binghamton University have to take writing classes because in the United States, a lot of grading is done by papers, not just tests, right? So all of the ELI courses are fulfilling general education requirements. So for example, here in the C credit, which is composition, we have a course for freshmen to learn how to do writing at the college level. So writing in college is quite different than writing in high school, right? So when international freshmen come in, all international students take a placement test that helps us to know what kind of courses to recommend. So there is a freshman class for writing. We also are quite proud that we are going to start another course which is focused on English for economics and business. So our courses walk alongside of the students as they take their other courses. None of our courses are offered for high school students. They're all college courses once you are accepted into the Binghamton University. We also have a writing course for seniors, because even people who have been here for 4 years, or juniors or seniors, are still needing to develop their writing, you know, as they're thinking about going into professional jobs. They continue to improve their writing. We also have O credit, which is oral communication. Again, all Binghamton University students need to practice presentations and good public speaking. We have one class for freshmen where we help the students to feel more comfortable doing discussion, debating, speaking out, as all students at BU need to be able to do. And then we have a course for bilingual students. These are students who have actually been living in the United States, are quite fluent in speaking, but want to work on accent reduction. This is quite often students who are juniors and seniors are starting to think, oh, I have to do interviews for jobs. I really want to work on my accent. So those are some of the courses that we provide for students. Again, we walk alongside of the non-native English speakers as they take their other content courses. The second aspect of support that we are quite proud of is just general academic success. So for example, you know, it's not just learning language to read a textbook or to take a test, right? We need to be communicating. When you come to live in the United States, you're communicating all the time. So we are supporting the international students in the cultural differences. Classes here might not look the same as the classes in their home country. How to show respect to professors, you know, we don't say, hey, Linda, right? We say, hello, professor. Those kind of things we help the students to be able to navigate and communicate well so that their professors have a professional impression of the students. How to read a syllabus. A syllabus is kind of like a handbook that every class in the whole university will give a student the first day of class. So sometimes it's a little bit wordy, hard to read. We help the students learn how to use their syllabus to make them successful students. Understanding priorities, how to manage being in a different country, in a different culture, how to connect with all the resources that Binghamton University offers. Sometimes students, actually in my experience, most of the success is not necessarily related to the actual learning in classes, but it's more about how to manage all of the tasks and the time management that has to happen when you're in another place, right? Another part of that success is that we offer mentors. Those are other international students or domestic students who walk alongside the first year students, for example, like a big brother, big sister. They meet once a week. They offer to answer questions. And we have courses that train the upperclassmen to be mentors. Tutoring, we offer English language tutoring across the whole undergraduate as well as graduate level. And actually, some of our international students, when they become juniors or seniors, become tutors, right? They take a course in training them how to do that. And then we also have English speaking assistants. Again, these could be international students or domestic students who are interested in being TAs in our classes. Those are teaching assistants. So in all of our classes, we have helpers. Suppose we have 18 students in our language class, then we have 3 ESAs, English speaking assistants. And so we can divide the class into small groups of 6 and really have a lot of good practice in the classroom. And international students can be ESAs if they take the classes. Lastly, the ELI helps international students to navigate their social integration. Binghamton University is very global, as Tanya said earlier. Our students love to make friends with the domestic students. Domestic students love to make friends with the international students. So we have 3 programs. The first is called Conversation Pairs. This is where we match a non-native speaking student with a native English speaking student. And they meet every week and they have conversation. They become friends. That program has been at Binghamton University since 1985, before the ELI was even in existence. So it's a long-term program that students really love to participate in. The ILA stands for International Language Association, and this is like a language exchange program where if you're a Spanish-speaking student, you would teach Spanish to the domestic students who are studying Spanish as a foreign language, and then you would practice your English with them. We have many languages in this: Russian, Spanish, Italian, Chinese, Korean, Japanese, and they have different topics each week. It's also quite fun. And this was actually created by students. The ELI is the sponsor. So lastly, the conversation circles are organized by the ESAs, and they're just fun topics to talk about. So you can see that the ELI offers both academic support, social support, and yeah, when you're on campus, visit us. Feel free to reach out and email me. I'm the director. I'll answer any questions you have. And welcome to Binghamton University.
Thank you so much, Linda. That was wonderful. Just over the 10 minutes, but I think it was great information. So next we're going to hear from our International Student and Scholar Services Office. We have Erin Provost, who is one of the counselors in our International Student and Scholar Services Office here, and she's going to share a little bit more about what they do and how they help our international students throughout their 4 years on campus as well. So Erin, I will hand it over to you.
Perfect. Thank you, Carrie. Thank you, everyone, for joining us today. I'm excited to talk to you about the International Student Scholar Services Office, commonly known on campus as the ISSS office. So the ISSS office, basically in summary, is here to make sure both Binghamton University and you as international students are following the regulations that will keep you in a valid immigration status while you are studying in the US. Our main objective is to support you while you are at Binghamton to ensure that you become part of the Binghamton University community and that your academic goals stay in line with your immigration status. We are here as a resource to you and provide you with the most up-to-date information as quickly and accurately as possible. I'm sure, as all of you can imagine, this last point was particularly important over the past semester and over the summer due to the pandemic. Things were changing very quickly in terms of what the Binghamton University at Binghamton University itself, decisions that were being made and immigration regulations were shifting to make sure students could remain studying in the US. So there were a lot of changes. So, we were here as a resource to both students and the university to make sure that the immigration regulations and decisions that the university were making lined up. Okay, so as an international student, there are 3 main immigration documents that you will utilize while studying in the US, hopefully at Binghamton University. You must have a passport, you must have an F1 student visa, and you must have an I-20. So when you apply to Binghamton University as part of the application process, you will be asked to show proof of funding. This is required to receive your F1 visa at a later date. So once you are accepted at Binghamton University, the admissions office will alert our office that you've been accepted, and then we will issue you an I-20. The I-20 document is the document that you need to apply for your F1 student visa. And in terms as you will apply for your F1 student visa at the US consulate or embassy in your home country, and the processing times and procedures of applying for your F1 visa will vary depending on your location throughout the world. So over the course of the summer or over the winter before the spring semester, depending on when you will start attending Binghamton University, our office will be in constant contact with you. So we send out a series of emails before the start of the semester, providing you with essential information that you'll need to become successful once you arrive at Binghamton University. The International or the ISSS office will offer our own international student orientation. This orientation will introduce you to the Binghamton University campus. We will provide you with essential U.S. immigration information that you will need. We will provide you with information about health insurance and assist you with cultural adjustment to the U.S., to the Binghamton University community as well. And as an international student, obviously we want you to feel part of the entire Binghamton University community. So in addition to the international student orientation, you will also attend university-wide orientations that are offered for all new students. Okay, so we offer multiple programs throughout each semester. So we try and have fun as much as possible. You know, sometimes it can get a little mundane just making sure and reading up on immigration regulations. So we want to make sure, you know, we're having fun as staff members and offering, showing you that, you know, we're a fun office. So we offer, again, multiple social programs throughout the semester. Probably one of our most common social programs that we offer is we offer a monthly coffee hour where international students can connect with other students, faculty, and staff on campus. It's offered the first Friday of every month. It's come grab a cup of coffee, a muffin, and just it's a great way to meet other students on campus, and a lot of our staff and faculty attend as well. And it's just a very informal event that allows you know, people to socially interact with one another. One of our other very popular programs is our Friendship Family program, where interested students are connected with a Binghamton community member. And I know this is something, a program that a lot of our students really enjoy. It's just another way to, you know, experience U.S. culture by connecting with somebody outside of the Binghamton University community. And I know a lot of students, you know, really become and feel part of their Binghamton community member family. And we also offer programs such as scavenger hunts on campus where you can earn prizes. Again, just another fun way to kind of get out there, meet new people, and become acclimated with the Binghamton University campus and community. So the ISSS office offers advising hours Monday through Thursday. So for advising hours, typically students can meet with advisors one-on-one to answer any questions they have regarding their immigration status. So you would just come into the office during this time, ask to meet with an advisor, and you would meet with myself or one of the other immigration advisors in the office, and we can assist you in answering any questions that you may have. We also send out a monthly newsletter updating international students on important information. We offer information on everything from changes to immigration regulations, different programs that are being offered throughout the semester, important deadline dates, you know, established by the the Binghamton campus. So it's just another great resource to make sure you're staying up to date on the most important information that you may need to be successful. We also offer multiple workshops each semester. I believe Tanya was talking earlier about the Fleischman Center for Career Development. We work very closely with the Fleischman Center to offer employment-based workshops where the Fleischman Center will talk about and give tips on finding internships and employment, and then our office will, provide information on the work authorization that you might need for, an internship or employment that you will be interested in after you graduate. And the perfect segue into employment opportunities afforded to you as an F1 student. This employment is a topic that is very popular with all international students, rightfully so. So just a very brief overview on employment opportunities that will be provided to you as F1 students in the US. So all F1 students can work on campus while you are an enrolled student. So you can get a job in any office on campus to earn some extra money while you're studying in the US to, go out and do fun things while you're here. If during your time here, you're interested in doing an off-campus internship to enhance, what you're learning in the classroom as a student, you are allowed to apply for work authorization to participate in those off-campus internships while you're an enrolled student. And then after you graduate, depending on your degree, you can apply for work authorization from 1 to 3 years to remain in the US and find employment that is directly related to your degree. And our office, the ISSS office, is here to provide advising and assist you and help you through all of these different processes while you're a student. And then this is just our general contact information. So if you have any questions, you can always contact us. Probably at this point, the best point of contact is via email. You can email our general email account, which is ISSS@binghamton.edu. And I thank you for your time and hopefully look forward to seeing you in the future.
Thanks so much, Erin, for that overview. That was great. So next, I'm going to introduce two lovely students that we have here who are going to help share their perspectives of what it's like to be an international student. So they're just going to have a chat amongst themselves. They're both wonderful senior students, so I won't take up any more of their time. I'm going to stop sharing the screen so that we can just see both of them as they have their conversation. So Hao Yu and Kevin, you guys can go ahead and take it away.
All right, thank you, Carrie. Hi guys, my name is Kevin, and I am a senior studying in philosophy, politics, and law. And how are you?
Hi everyone, I'm Hao Yu Li from Beijing, China, and now I'm a senior in School of Management and majoring in accounting and finance. I'm so happy to share my life at Binghamton today.
So the first thing that we want to talk about is like academic part of Binghamton. As Linda mentioned, there's a whole lot of classes that's offered to all the students. The classes that we wanted to talk about were the ELI courses that Linda mentioned earlier. We each took a class before in the past. I personally took an O course. It's improving our speaking and oral skills. It helped me develop my English, remove my unnecessary accents, and that also led me to become an ESA, English speaking assistant, for one of the speaking courses.
So for me, I took the C course. It's a writing course, so it improved my writing skills a lot. In this course, we learn different kinds of college writing format. For example, we practice the research papers and summary response papers, and so on. And these writing skills are very helpful in my future studies in other classes.
And we do both want to mention that, like, even if it's not an ELI course, for any course, all the professors and lecturers, their doors are always open regarding the student's nationality, ethnicity, or whatsoever. And even if your English isn't perfect, or you're not comfortable speaking English, their doors are always open. They want us to express our opinions, and they always are willing to listen and understand what we're trying to say. Going on to non-academic parts of the school, we want to talk about some of the clubs and activities that we've done in the past. How you?
Yeah, so first of all, I really want to introduce a club named International Student Organization. It's also called ISA. So it's a professional organization that seeks to provide professional development resources and networking opportunities, especially for international students in their career path. So for example, for me, I participated in their ISA Networking Net event in New York City last year, and they invited around 30 international alumni in a variety of fields, and most of them are employed in Big Four companies, and it's a good networking opportunity for me. They answered me a lot of questions and how they get this job and helped me learn more about their real work experience in these Big Four companies. So they held such as these networking events allowed, and they also have a lot of workshop to improve our resume or interview skills. So it's a very useful and fun club in Binghamton I took.
And also in Binghamton, there's all sorts of ethnic organizations as well as religious organizations that students can join. There's also 240 clubs. And the interesting thing about Binghamton's student organizations are that it's like a nonprofit organization, that how I perceived it. Anyone who has an idea to start a club could do so, if they have the right idea, if they have the right amount of people, and the student association, if they feel that it's a necessary group, they will provide funding for the group as well. So I'm very interested in sports management, and there was a group of students who wanted to make a group about that. So they just started a group, and I was a member as well. And then we do all kinds of sports events, speaking series, and on track of becoming a student association group. So you can join any group that you want from the 240 clubs, or if there's none that you don't like, if there's something that you want to make, then that's always up to you to do. And other than academic and club activities, how you and I both live off campus. So there was a debate yesterday when we were talking about this. I personally believe that it is somewhat necessary to have a car at Binghamton. It's not a city here. It's not the New York City that you are expecting. It's very rural. It's very how would you express Binghamton, the atmosphere of Binghamton?
Yeah, I think Binghamton is a very lovely town, and even though it's not near the big city or itself is not a big city, but it's near lots of fun cities and not far from the New York City as well. Also, it's a very quiet and beautiful environment for me to study, and yeah, I really like this beautiful city.
Mhm. So like as how you mentioned, there's since we're in upstate New York, um, having a car is very good because it allowed me personally to travel like to Ithaca, Syracuse, Buffalo to go see the Niagara Falls. But looking nearby, there was also national parks, state parks, like from a 10-minute drive to a 30 or 1 hour drive. The state parks are like, I just don't know how to express it, but different from when what you're expecting of parks. They're beautiful. It's like when you're stressed out, when I go, it's just a peaceful, um, beautiful atmosphere that we could see. But how you mentioned that it's with even without a car, you can also go around places. Um,
Yeah, our bus transportation is so convenient around the whole Binghamton area. So using your student ID card is free to take both a school bus, which run by students, and the city bus. So for me, I don't have car and I also live off campus, but it's still very convenient for me to take bus to go to school every day. And for my living place is only 3 minutes away the bus station. And each 30 minutes there will be a bus. So depend on where you live, the schedule and stations will be different, but you can always find faithful lines for you. And also in weekends, uh, they also have some shopping experience express and can go supermarket or other malls. So it's also very uh, easy for us to take bus.
and lastly, we wanted to mention food. There's all sorts of options that students could have. There's dining halls by um, all by each residence has dining halls that offers many varieties of food. Also, marketplace which has local restaurants and other food options that students want, like Subway, or there's Copper Top for pizza. There's Korean food, there's Chinese food, and all different kinds of food, as well as small hidden spots that not a lot of students know. But there is a restaurant on campus as well that students can enjoy food. And there's a lot of events for each dining halls or marketplace or restaurants on campus that provide sometimes have a lamb week that gives lamb chops for a day, which was very interesting and delicious. Um, so that was it. Do you have anything to add, Hao-Yu?
Uh, I just really want to mention the Minbo is a Chinese food in marketplace is my favorite on campus.
Right.
Great. Thank you both so much for sharing your experiences. I hope our students got a lot out of that. So next we're going to move into our Q&A. So if you do have any questions, you can certainly ask them now. And we'd like to, share that with you. All of our panelists are back here so that you can see us all and hopefully answer a few more of your questions before we wrap up. So let's see what we've got for questions here. You see the first one here. Tanya, would you like to answer this one?
Yeah, what documents are needed for an international student from the UK. So we don't have different requirements for students from different countries. They're going to be the same requirements for all students around the world. So the first thing would be the application. As Pat mentioned, the most common application is the common application. So that would be the first thing to do, is to submit your common application by one of the two deadlines, either the early action deadline, November 1st, or the regular deadline, March 15th. The next thing that we need from students is your transcripts from high school or from secondary school. So we're looking at the ultimate 3 completed years of study. So that would be academic year 2019, 2020, 2018, 2019, and 2018. Right? So we need to see all the courses that you took in those years and all the grades that you earned from those courses. And we need to receive that from an official at your school, so they can email us or send it as a hard paper copy. Another requirement is 1 letter of recommendation. This is coming from a guidance counselor or a teacher at your school. If you're unsure about what should be in the letter of recommendation, or who might an appropriate recommender be, you can feel free to email us and we'll be happy to talk to you more about that. The common application has an essay. So typically essays are between 500 words or so, 500 to 650 words. And you can see the questions that are available on Common App's website. So it's about 6 or 7 questions, and you can pick whichever one aligns most with your interest. And then I think those are for those of you, if English is not your primary language, if you're a non-native English speaker, we do need an English proficiency exam. So we accept the TOEFL, we accept IELTS, we accept Duolingo, we accept SAT, and we accept ACT. So lots of different, you don't need to submit all of those. We just need one of those for demonstrating English proficiency. So those are all the items needed to apply as an international student.
Great. It looks like we have one more question here before wrapping up. So this other question here, are the partial scholarships merit-based? So Pat, you did talk about scholarships more. Do you want to field this one?
Sure. Yes, all of our scholarships are merit-based, so there is no additional application that is required or needed. So simply when you apply, you are considered. All students are considered for scholarships, both as first year and as transfers. And the transfer scholarship is, I indicated the amounts. For first year students, the scholarship amounts range from $2,500 US dollars to $13,500 US dollars per year for 4 years. A transfer student could expect to get a scholarship anywhere from $2,500 to about $5,000 US dollars for 2 years, typically the time necessary to complete the degree.
Great, thank you. So before I share my screen again, we wrap up. I just want to thank everyone who you can see on your screen right now while we're all here. So thank you to Erin and Linda from ELI and ISSS for sharing about your offices. We really appreciate you taking the time. And of course, Kevin and Hao-Yu, thank you so much for sharing your experiences. I know it's wonderful for current students to hear, for prospective students to hear from current students to really get that insider knowledge about what Binghamton is like and the food and the clubs. So thank you everyone for coming on. We're going to wrap up right now just with some final information from our international admissions office side. So places that you can find us, you can always go to binghamton.edu/admissions/apply. Our email is international@binghamton.edu. which I believe we've just shared in the chat as well. And then there's lots of ways to find us on social media. So you can message us on WhatsApp. You can see some of our videos on YouTube. We are on Instagram, Facebook, and WeChat, Binghamton INTL, if you want to add us on WeChat and ask us questions. Tanya does speak Spanish as well. I do myself speak Chinese, so we are able to communicate with our populations as best we can. Pat does a wonderful job of working with the rest of the world and trying to navigate all those different languages. So we really want to encourage you to reach out to us. There's lots of ways on our website to get to connect with us. We know we can't travel and come to you right now, but there are ways to either live chat with us. You can set up one-on-one appointments right through our admissions website, and then check out lots of our virtual tours, other presentation recordings, or information sessions that we have. So there's lots and lots of resources on our website as well. So thank you again all for joining us. We hope you have a wonderful, wonderful evening, morning, afternoon, whatever the time may be where you are. And we hope to see those applications soon. And again, thank you for joining.